Hi everyone. I just wanted to take a few minutes to walk you through the characteristics session 7 so that you'll know as an instructor what session 7 looks like and what you need to do during this upcoming week. So I am masquerading as the lovely Rachel Schmidt, and we're going to take a moment to look over the characteristics session 7 course. So I'm going to start by clicking on the actual course, and when I get here you can see that the session 7 portfolio along with all the subpages have already been published. And when we click on the portfolio, you'll notice that there is a checklist and due dates table, and the table goes over what they're going to view as well as what they're going to do in the due dates. Now we are flexible on the due dates. You are the instructors, you've worked with your students, you know whether or not these due dates are reasonable. I can tell you that these portfolio assignments, each of them take just a couple minutes to do, so they are really short assignments. So you'll notice that this first part of session 7, the candidates are to review the portfolio overview and exemplars. So when we come down here, we see that there's an overview and there's also an exemplar. And then they're going to watch the videos titled Create Portfolio and Publish Portfolio. Now these are linked right here, so if I click on this, it will actually take me to the link for creating a portfolio. But these videos, all of these videos are also available in the portfolio overview page. So let's go to the portfolio overview page. You'll notice that all the videos are there. So the first thing candidates going to do is look over this overview, view the videos, and then take a look at what's expected of them for the portfolio. The portfolio is broken into 4 sections or 4 parts, and it is all on one page in the actual portfolio, which I will show you in just a moment. But this overview provides details of what they're going to do for each part. There's also a PDF version of this overview as well as a PDF version of the exemplar right here. So if they click on this, they can download that. And then the exemplar is actually an exemplar for an ASD candidate. I don't have anything for other candidates. However, as you go through your course this year and you look over your candidates' portfolios, if you have a candidate who submits a portfolio that really exemplifies what is expected of them, then please let me know. I will take their exemplar and put it in to the exemplar for your future session 7. So that there can be an exemplar for early childhood, an exemplar for deaf-blind, and so on. Okay. So the last piece of this session 7 is the submissions. So that would be these to-do items right here. And I'm going to go down to Submit Portfolio Components. Actually, that's a little bit of a misnomer because there is one component here that is not part of the portfolio, and it is the course evaluation. So the candidate is going to complete the course evaluation at the end of the course. They could do it right here in this Google form, and then they don't need to click hand in. We can just go ahead and give them a grade for having submitted that. But let's take a look at the portfolio components. There are 4 components that are going to be submitted during session 7 with the expectation that these candidates are going to build their portfolio out between now and the end of their very last course, okay, which is in about 5 months. So they have 5 months to complete this portfolio. So, and there's a due date here for the portfolio due date. That's the last day of their last course. And so the first assignment is to load the correct portfolio template. And there's a link back to that video on how to load your portfolio. So they can click on the link if they want to look over the video again. And then they're also going to publish their template. They're going to load and publish their portfolio. So the instructions here says once you have done this, submit a note in this assignment stating I have loaded my template. So they will just click on hand in and they will put a note there. So I'm actually going to go view student work, and when I do that I see that sample student has handed something in. So I am going to look up sample student by going to people and then typing in sample student AASE, and I'm going to select sample student. From there, I can actually go to this student's e-portfolio. So I'm going to click there. And they have, in fact, loaded the portfolio because I see that the early childhood added authorization portfolio is here. Not only that, but I also see that they even did their introduction. So I'm going to give this candidate credit for loading their portfolio and for having completed their introduction. Okay, so let's go back to the class I was in. I'm going to go back and make sure that I assign a grade for having loaded the portfolio and also for the introduction. So as I view work here, I'm going to come over to sample students grade. This is for loading the portfolio template, and I'm just going to give them a grade for that. Oh, and I also remember that they did the other assignment, which was the candidate introduction. So you know you can either come in through assignments or go back into that page and view work. So I notice here that there's complete candidate introduction, so I'm going to view that work as well. And I see here that I already know that they completed this as well, so I'm going to assign a grade right there. Okay, so sample student has gotten credit for two things now, for loading their portfolio and also for doing the introduction. So if I come back to my pages, I could take a look at some of the other things that are there as well. And it looks like there is the professional development evidence as well as responding to standard 1, which I know nobody has completed yet. But what I'm going to do is actually take you over to sample students portfolio. This might be helpful just to see what they see. And I'm going to go back to the e-portfolio. And you'll notice that the early childhood portfolio, everything, all the parts, everything that they need to submit between now and the end of the course or end of the program is all on one page. So the third part that they need to complete, and again, this is just to get them into the portfolio and get started and comfortable with it, is they need to submit one piece of evidence for their professional development hours. Now, just to clarify here, SDCOE requires 40 hours of professional development. 10 of those hours comes in the video component in the pre and post observation piece right here. This is the video component. The rest of it is 20 hours of straight professional development from the last 3 years, and then 10 hours can be experience. So the 10 hours that's experience, all that's required is a letter from the site administrator on letterhead saying, yes, this candidate is in a classroom with students with whatever disability the authorization area is in. Okay, so for here, the candidate is actually going to type in the title of the PD that they attended, and they're going to hyperlink that title to some form of evidence, whether it's a letter, a transcript, or a certificate, and then they're going to load the number of hours on the right-hand side. And then the last assignment that they're going to complete in session 7 is that they're going to come into the standards and elements legend, and they're just going to identify 2 to 3 things that they do in their classroom that meets the standards. Okay, so they're only going to do it for 1.1 in session 7 with the idea that they're going to build this out between now and the end of their last course. If candidates want to go ahead, move ahead and do more than just the few things during session 7, they're more than welcome to do that. The last thing that I want to point out here is that there is the videotaping. We will be using Go React, and instructions for that will be forwarded to you hopefully in the next 2 weeks. But candidates are going to record themselves, and they're also actually prior to recording, they're going to jot down some pre-observation notes on what it is that they're hoping to learn about their instruction, what they would like for you to look for in the video, and then also identify any professional development that they implemented during this video. Then after they record, only you are going to view the video. It won't be anyone else from the program. There will be some post-observation notes. So at some point you will connect with your candidate and give them feedback. That feedback will actually be in the Go React video, but I would also encourage you to feel free to make a phone call if you think that that's something that would work well. So that is an overview of session 7, and of course you can contact myself or Carrie Morgan anytime if you have any questions. Thank you.